How are you?
I'm busy
Oh man, I
and I'm
know.
tired.
Yeah,
How are you doing?
I'm slowing down, I think, some. And so I'm just trying to enjoy that, but I always feel like I'm supposed to be doing something.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. You
school is,
feel weird, like I'm supposed to be somewhere.
I'm supposed to be doing something. Yeah, and it's odd for me. School is over. I'm just waiting to graduate, but I left band season and went straight into MIP for the Zetas. And so I was at Norfolk State every day still.
Yeah,
And now that's over. And so we're starting recruiting stuff, but not quite in it yet. So I just feel like I should be doing something. I have to be somewhere, and I don't. And it's really, really odd for me, but I'm
I
trying.
wish I could say that. Well, I do. Things have slowed down, but not to the degree that I was hoping. So we still have a lot of stuff to do and a lot of stuff on our plates. So I'm still up there 3 days a week or two. Yeah, two. But still, it's just the fact that there's still so much to do. Like every weekend, there's something. There's some a performance. There's a it's something. So I wish that we could slow down, but we really can't because this is our big recruitment season. We had a pre-audition workshop last week, and it was the most people that I've ever had at anyone, even before COVID. It's like
Wow,
almost 100 girls there.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
and,
That means
that's the most I've ever that's Huh?
you're gonna have a real fun audition season. Real fun.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know, and, yeah, so that's the most I've ever had, and, uh, yeah, so and then we got, performances, we got camps, we got it's just a lot. Our spring show is April 23rd, um so we're putting together, this show. This is where they get to come up with what they want to do, sort of with my guidance, but they get to kind of come up with what songs they want to perform to, and it's the Foxes and Twirling Thunder and the drum majors. And this year we're bringing MSD into it, the percussion section.
Oh wow.
So it's going to be like this big old variety show. And I'm the producer.
Look at you wearing multiple hats.
Me by myself. So yeah, it's just a lot. So just even thinking about it makes me tired. I'm just
Mm,
like, ugh, I need a vacation.
yeah, that's an understatement. And I feel like before we know it, it's gonna be band camp again. And
Band camp.
yeah, yeah.
There
Hey,
she is.
Good morning. Oh,
Good
am I frozen?
morning.
is she frozen or are we? Oh, she's frozen.
She frozen.
Okay,
But
okay,
I've learned when people freeze just to stay there like
yeah. But I wanted to make sure it wasn't me. I was like, wait, is my internet acting up again?
yeah, she's frozen. Uh-oh. She gonna try again. Yeah. What else? Well, the pep band is in Birmingham right now. When is y'all's tournament? Do y'all had it already?
It's this week.
Oh, okay. So
The
yeah,
girls
pep,
have played a game already. I think the boys play tomorrow. So our pep band has been at the scope.
yeah.
So,
Oh, must be nice to be just
oh
there.
yeah, you know that is one good thing about the MEAC coming to Norfolk is that we only have to go. Literally, I don't even think that's 2 miles from Norfolk State. It's probably like a mile and a half or
Oh
something.
yeah, I remember. I remember. You know
So
what? This is kind of off the cuff and not related, but I kind of miss Norfolk a little bit.
really,
Yeah. Now you know I didn't like it at all while I was there.
No, that's why I said it like that. Wow.
I was like, you know how Norfolk is like that boyfriend. You know, he's kind of nerdy, and you don't appreciate him when you have him. And then you get away, you know, and you go somewhere else. You got you another all highfalutin boyfriend, and you be like, you know what? I sure miss my nerd. Like,
That wasn't that bad. And I mean, they've done so much to the city. It's growing in leaps and bounds.
yeah,
They completely tore down Waterside and reopened it, and they have like live music there. It's all of
yeah,
these different restaurants. It's new hotels down there that have really, really nice views of the whole city,
yeah,
really good food. They've done a lot. It's definitely better than the Norfolk you left.
yeah,
So that's a good thing. And then they got the outlets and all this other stuff. It is just really growing, and it's a lot more to do. Well, especially now that I'm older and I don't want to do no whole lot. If I can
right.
go eat and have good drinks, I'm fine.
And good,
Um,
yeah.
so
Mhm.
it's a lot, definitely a lot more to do. It's all of these new buildings on campus. It's different, but in a good way.
Yeah,
So
that's good. I know they were planning for the whole waterside renovation, and they had planned it for the majority of the time we were there. They had been
mhm.
planning. They talked and talked and talked and planned, and it never started. And then maybe a couple of years after we left, that's when I heard they finally had done it. And I was like, wow, I miss being by the water. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
I miss that. I mean, we have here. I mean, I'm an hour's drive from Galveston, but
Mhm.
that's different. That's not what I'm talking about. It's being near like because we were right by the bay. I used to
Absolutely.
go down there and jog every day,
Yeah.
and so yeah, I miss that, and I'm missing that now. I'm kind of missing the slower pace. Houston is just so
Yeah.
big, and it's big, and it's great. It's people love it here, and it's diverse, and it's this and it's that, but it's big. It's
Yeah. And here, everything is kind of connected. It doesn't take you very long to get anywhere unless the
yeah,
traffic is horrible. But most of us who lived here or know, you time it, and you know when you should and shouldn't go and do things. And most of the
yeah,
time you can avoid it. Yeah. When I moved to North Carolina for those 11 months, I didn't realize how much I would miss being near the water,
mm,
getting fresh caught seafood every day. Like, that's not something I realized was like a thing, because I've always I had been here so long that I'm like, wait, you all have to ship it in? No, it's somebody going to get that today,
right,
you
right.
know? And so it was just really, really weird. And I didn't think I would like miss it. But when I moved to North Carolina, I was like, oh no, I gotta go back. I have to
Yeah,
get back here. So
yeah. I mean, I had to get accustomed when I lived in Atlanta. I had to get accustomed to not being near the water, and that was a hard thing for me, was because I was raised on the water. So
right,
not being near the water, and then Southern is right there on the Mississippi River,
right.
even though it's dirty and brown and whatever, but at least you're right there on the water. So moving to Atlanta was hard, was an adjustment, not being near water. And then so being in Norfolk was like really like, wow, this is so nice. I love it. And then that was really the best thing about being there for me. But now being here, and like I said, there's a lake. Lake Conroe is about 40 minutes away. Lake Jackson is about 45 minutes away. Galveston is an hour away. But it ain't the same. It's not the
No,
same.
I mean, you can go in any direction here and end up by or near close to
Yeah, 20
a
minutes.
body of water.
20
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah,
I, yeah, so it's just not the same. And I miss it. I do. And I miss just the slower I never thought I would miss the slower nature. I loved being in Norfolk, and then I could drive 2 hours and 45 minutes to DC.
Yep.
And so that way I could get my party on, come on back and calm it
Yeah.
down a little bit, So yeah, here this city is always moving, always, just all the
And
time.
it's so spread out. Everything. When I was
Mhm.
there, I was like, Lord, it takes forever to get everywhere.
It does.
This
It
is great.
does. Yeah,
And
I kind of miss it. I do. Yeah. Okay, we gotta find out. Did Maya say what was going on?
I
Let's
don't
see.
know.
She said she was in. Now she's not in.
The devil is trying to block our show today. I don't know what's going on.
Well, at least after all of the Battle of the Bands and stuff that y'all did, you get to kind of slow down from that. Y'all the real MVP.
It was a lot. It was a lot. I mean, I just felt like the season was never going to end. I mean, to start, when you think about not just when band camp started, but we had been meeting, planning, having things, doing things
Yeah.
leading up to that. So
Yeah.
we literally started, I think, in like March, and we would have meetings once a month. And then as we got closer, we would have twice a month. And then, it was band camp. So it felt like we have been doing this thing the entire year. And I think
Right.
when I really started to feel it is that the students didn't go home at the beginning of December. They stayed for 2 additional weeks. They only went home for, I think, like 8 days or 9 days, but that's what they did. We didn't do that. We had to start packing all of that stuff up. We had to get everything together. So I think I went home to Richmond and was not doing anything Legion. I think 4 days total. And then the day after Christmas, I got my car and came back and went to the band room, and we were still doing stuff, getting things together, making sure everything was together. And then the next day, the students came back and they had practice.
Yeah.
And so then we went to, I think we left 2 days later for California. We came back and they were gone 9 days, I think 9 days. And then we came back and started preparing for Atlanta. So when you think 14 days total is the only time we were kind of away from this, from let's just say March to February, that's a lot. And it was really, and I think it would not have been as bad if the season that ended in November and then we came back and started preparing for Atlanta. It probably would have been better because you've had that break, but that no break in between, I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to see y'all. I don't want to see these students. I don't want to have to I don't want to have to come up here every day. And then even after that ended, we went straight into intake for Zeta. So I was still up there every day.
Yeah.
Wow. At least with that, it was I could sit down. It was a different kind of thing, but it was still every single day pretty much.
Wow.
So that ended, all the probates and everything was on Saturday. So Sunday, and this is the first week that I don't have somewhere I have to be after work.
Yeah.
And so it's different. And I find myself having to tell myself, you just need to sit down. I'm like cleaning. I'm like, oh, I'm okay.
Yeah, because you feel like you got to do all this stuff.
I'm going to like start my spring cleaning. And my mom was like, why? Not even spring yet. Like, sit down. Like, how about you learn how to do nothing?
Right.
Yeah. And so it's really, really, really been hard for me. Like, I've had to tell myself, like, sit down.
Yeah. Don't do anything.
I'm like going through clothes. Like, I don't need this. I haven't worn this. I need to. Why?
Oh, yeah. But see, yeah, I know. But I'm doing that Easter thing that people are doing where every day they find something and toss it out. I'm doing that. So, yeah, it's helping quite a bit.
Yeah, but I wasn't doing that. Like, not a day. I was like doing an overhaul. Like, I'm sitting in the closet, like, this can go, that can go. Like, I have all these bags that are like I need to take to Goodwill. And my mom's like, why are you doing that? And I'm like, hey, Justin, Simon, whatever your name is today. My mom was like, why? You're finding ways to still be busy when
Right.
it's a time that you could be resting.
You should be resting. Yeah, I listen, we have the conference at the end of the month, and it's just daily planning, and I'm never not doing it. And it's gotten to the point where I'm not sleeping right. I'm not sleeping well
Oh no.
because I'm planning. I'm constantly going over the list of things in my head, and so I'm learning that I have to right before I lay down, I have to write it down or put it all in a note on my phone. But I have to put everything that I got to do the next day and write it down. I got to get it out of my head because otherwise I'm going to churn on it all night and I'm not sleeping.
I do that all the time. And I don't know if that's a tourist thing or not, but people like, why? Like the entire time I've been in school, I've had insomnia. And
Uh,
people are like, why? And I'm like,
uh,
because every day I have so much to do that I
yeah,
couldn't turn my brain off. Like
right.
I literally was like, tomorrow I have to do this, 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 and this. These four things are a must.
Yeah,
And if I don't do these things, like these are the consequences. So
yeah,
it was
yeah,
like the entire time. So I think if I could put one point that I'm looking forward to
yeah,
is like a better sleep quality now
yeah,
that that's over.
yeah,
I think the other thing that I'm looking forward to is I think the entire time that I've been coaching, for the most part, with the exception of the first season, I've been in school. So I
yeah,
feel like I've been giving them part of me.
yeah,
And so I'm looking forward to like being fully 100% present this season. Like
yeah,
I don't have to balance. I don't have to leave. I mean, because I was there and I gave them all that I had, but I was going home and doing 3 or 4 hours of schoolwork after that. And then I was
mm,
getting up the next morning and working. And so I was tired all the time.
yeah,
So, I'm just looking forward to being fully present, to contributing in different ways. Well, now that I'll have all of my senses and hopefully a good night's rest. So,
yeah. I started taking melatonin, but my body laughs at that. What?
yeah, it doesn't work for me.
It
And I
doesn't
don't
work
know
for
what that
me.
is. It used to, but now not so much. Like I'll take it and I'll be up for another 6 hours. I'm like,
Yeah,
I've wasted this. And
yeah,
nothing will make me go to sleep except for like if I take like 2 Benadryl, I'll be
yeah,
knocked out. But who wants to do that every day?
right.
So I don't know. It is a different thing, but I'm hoping that it was all of the school stress. Um,
She said her devices are not cooperating.
what in the world? That is crazy.
Okay. All right. So she's trying. She's trying to
Um,
get in there. So you took Justin with you to where'd he go with y'all?
oh,
California?
California, yeah. Well, we didn't really take him with us. He wasn't on the plane with us, but he was with us. He was with us the whole time, and that was just an interesting experience because he got to hear some of the ins and outs, ups and downs, hills and valleys.
Uh-huh.
We're not a staff that knows how to sugarcoat anything, so just was initiated to the our world.
Yeah. You know what,
And
Justin? Justin, I got an idea for you.
what's that?
I got an idea. He should do that with every band where he goes on a trip with every band or just goes and spends some time. But you should go on a trip. Like for us, you should come with us to Stay Fair Classic. Mm,
That's
yeah.
not a bad
Start talking
idea.
to Dr. Zachary about that right now. Start talking to him about it. But this is what you should do. Okay. So you should go with every band and then I'm cooking. Yeah, I'm cooking. Yeah, see? and then record. You know, you're gonna need a helper. You're gonna need somebody to come and help you record, or you can just use the media team. You use mine, although they. Ooh, let me stop. Okay, so yeah, so yeah, but you should come and record it, and it's gonna be like you getting the full understanding of what it's like to be on a band staff, and you record that because I don't think people know.
Mm-mm,
I don't think people know.
no. And
No.
Justin got the full gusto because we just don't know
Yeah,
how to sugarcoat stuff. And I mean,
yeah, we
it
don't
was
either.
it was an awesome trip, but it was some stuff going on, okay? And he
Yeah,
got the full insight into how we really feel about stuff, things we feel like we can improve upon, because you know what's the point of lying?
yeah,
And it was just an interesting dynamic. And I think him, you know, love Bethea to death, but he doesn't do social media. He's not in tune.
so he
So
doesn't either.
we have been, yeah, you know, we have been telling him some things that we feel like could bring, you know, some more insight and to expand, you know, how people view us and everything like that. Not Norfolk staff don't have no filters. No, we don't. It is really,
We don't
it is
either.
crazy.
We don't have no filters either. And I will tell you one thing. It was hard filming the show because I was constantly having to stop. Like, because you know, they would be filming my rehearsal or whatever, and then I say something, then I turn around, I go, cut, you know, like it's like y'all can't, y'all need to cut that part out, you know, like
Yeah,
it was really hard because like we wanted to be ourselves, but we, you know, we were like,
certain
whoa, you
things you
know?
can't, yeah, certain things you can't do. That's why when they
Right.
came and filmed leading up to the All-Star Battle of the Bands, I went in the office and they were like, "Oh, you need to get her on camera." And Maya,
Yeah, that's Maya.
hey Maya,
Hello.
welcome.
That was like, I don't even know what to, because why have I literally been trying to do this for 40?
Uh-oh.
No,
What happened?
no,
Come on, Maya.
come on.
Maya. Maya. Come on.
Oh my goodness, it's the devil. It is the devil.
Oh,
Um,
Maya. I don't know what's wrong.
no,
I don't know. Is that her
I don't
network or her
know
device?
because
Oh,
it worked. I didn't have any issues.
me neither. I got
Mm.
in.
And normally, if someone's having an issue, it happens to everybody, but I didn't have one. But what I was
Oh,
saying is when they were coming to prepare um for they taped us for leading up to the All-Star Battle of Bands, and I walked
yeah.
in the office and all the kids were like, "You need to get Miss Portia," and I was like, "No, not me. We
Yeah.
want to still have a program after this. Like,
Yeah.
not that I say anything real crazy, but I'm very candid. And I don't
Yeah.
want to be the reason that, you know, what that
Yeah.
lady just say? No, not me. So
Yeah.
I kind of avoided them. They were like, "You really don't want to?" No, not me. Pick anybody else. Interview anybody else. But no, not me. I am still a work in progress and I'm better, but not to be on film, not to be on camera. No, I don't, not me.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't filter at all. And I know even Tim was having, because you know him. You know how Tim is. And yeah, even he had to kind of like, mm, you know,
Especially leading up to big stuff. Oh, he
yeah,
gets, yeah, yeah,
yeah. Uh-oh. Sad face. Maya's coming, everybody. She's having
yeah,
technical difficulties.
yeah. It's the devil trying to steal our joy today. I don't know
Hey
what that
there,
is.
LB. How you doing? Edwin. Do you know Edwin is my line brother?
You said that, and I think that's
Mhm.
super cool. Like that y'all still, that's awesome. Does he live
Yeah.
in Louisiana?
No, he's in Dallas.
Oh,
Hmm.
awesome.
Dallas, Texas. But yeah, so did you feel like the Atlanta event was like a letdown after Los Angeles?
I don't know. And I can't I don't know. I was so tired by the time we got to Atlanta. I literally just wanted it to be over. So I'm not going to be a good judge
Oh,
of any of
okay.
that because, like I said, we were rolling, and
Yeah.
so and I mean, it was a field show, and so we always do those. So it wasn't different. It was just like, oh, it was a new one. We wanted to do something new. We wanted to do something different, but we won't even go there about the response to different from the Legion. But
Mhm.
um, it was just like, okay, we're doing what we normally do. I think it was so much build up to the Rose Bowl. Um, and then it rained every day.
Yeah.
And it was just so much like getting out there, being out there, the time difference. We were
Yeah.
constantly moving while we were out there. It was one thing after the other. So by the
Yeah.
time we got to Atlanta, I was like, Lord, let's just hurry up and do this so I can get home
Yeah.
and be past this season. Like that was the end of the season for us. So
Mhm.
I was just ready for that. Was
Mhm.
it nice to see some bands that we hadn't seen? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was really excited to see Tennessee State, Alabama State, and all of these different bands that we don't normally get to see. We don't get to see really Bethune anymore. So it was
Mhm.
really good to see, different schools and for our students to see different schools. But I was tired. I
Yeah.
literally, Dr. Sanford was like, girl, what's going on with you? I said, Doc, I'm tired.
Uh,
I'm tired, sir.
it
It's
is.
been a long season. And the
That's how it is when we did Macy's and then had to come back, and we got back on Friday and Saturday was Labor Day Classic. So
oh,
so we had to keep you couldn't because that was the year of the hurricane Harvey.
mm,
So they had moved Labor Day Classic to Thanksgiving weekend. Boy, people was
wow.
mad about that because usually they go to New Orleans. They was mad. They were mad, mad. So we had Labor Day Classic Thanksgiving Saturday after Thanksgiving, and we had to roll right into that whole weekend and that show and everything. And it was you just didn't even have time to think about it. But I guess it worked out for us because we were on just a high from
Yeah,
doing Mason.
yeah.
Just a high, just like
I
you guys
mean,
were in Los Angeles.
but I think people don't realize, like, by the time you get to what it should be the end of the season,
Mhm.
you don't have anything left. It
Mhm.
really takes a lot. And so that's why I think it would be dope for Justin to do what you said. He got an inside view, but the people didn't really get an inside view. So that may be something dope for people to see because it
Mhm.
is a lot. Like it's
Mhm.
not just necessarily preparation, but there's so much that goes into running a band program
Oh,
of
yeah.
200 plus people.
Mhm.
The larger you get, the more difficult I can imagine that is.
Mhm.
Um, and when there's so many parts and pieces and coordination of all those parts and pieces and traveling
Right.
that far is a whole different element because you have to have everything. And so
Mhm.
is a thing. And
Mhm.
when you put your all into it, you're
Mhm.
exhausted at the end of a
Yeah,
season.
it
Man,
is. It's exhausting, and sometimes it doesn't hit you until later that you have all these people that you are in charge of. And it doesn't you're not thinking about it when you're doing it, but when you sit
right.
down and take a breather and you think about it, I just moved 385 people from point A to point B. And we had no mishaps and everybody came back with all their legs and arms and I mean when you actually sit down and think about that, it can become overwhelming
And I
because
think
that's a lot of people.
you just push yourself. You just push
Mm-hmm.
yourself. You just push yourself. And see, like now it's become my habit. I'm used to moving,
Mm-hmm.
moving, moving, moving. And so I never understood when people would be like, I don't know how to rest.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was younger, I used to, could take a nap and go to sleep right after. Or
Yeah.
if I didn't have anything to do, I knew how to sit down, watch TV, kick my feet up. I knew how to do all of that. And now I don't. And it's a process of me even relearning how to relax and how to.
Are you looking at Maya's message?
Mm-hmm.
She's having issues with her access. She said even her 5G network on her phone.
Oh, wow. That's
Hmm.
crazy.
We'll see. We'll keep on chatting.
Let's see.
Let's see. Are HBCU band directors driving these marching band events into late February, or is it promoters putting money opportunities there too? It depends. It depends on the band and the school. It depends. In some cases, it is definitely the promoters of these events. And in other cases, it is the bands seeking out these opportunities. So y'all know that Dr. Zachary is sometimes considered a snob when it when it comes to certain things, but he, like a lot of other band directors, get frustrated because this is really the only time that they can put their all into wind ensemble, jazz ensemble, concert band, all the other ensembles. Um, and so, as much as we like doing marching band stuff, or we, are appreciative of the opportunities that we get, because if we didn't get the opportunities, that'd be something to be thinking about too. So it's great that we get the opportunities and we take advantage of the ones that that make sense. But it cuts down on a lot of time for wind ensemble, for all the other ensembles. And I gotta say, I miss that, because I love our concerts, our wind ensemble and jazz ensemble concerts and percussion ensemble. We have an amazing percussion ensemble. And so I kind of miss all that, you
I think
know.
it's a little bit of both. I agree. I mean, some of it is that they can't. Part of our obligation is to the school in these football games, so you can't really necessarily book these things during football season, because then it's kind of a mixed bag of who has a game that week, can they get to it or not, all of those things. So it's kind of a mixed bag. I mean, I don't really know when other than National Battle of the Bands, where you do it at the beginning, and that has its issues that comes with it because people aren't,
We not
never
ready.
rusty.
We are
Yeah,
not
that thing. And then you have to meet your school obligations or university obligations by going to these games and events and all of these other things. So
right.
that really only leaves the spring. And I mean, unfortunately for us, the MEAC is just not in its prime. So we have to kind of take some of these gigs, because otherwise we won't see anybody. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, it definitely is. And Justin, believe it or not, there is someone working on that. There is someone working on that. The problem for us is that typically when we go to Dallas, because it's one of our biggest recruiting weekends. Oh my, I'm sorry.
Excuse us. Maya is funny. I
I
can't.
know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Because the whole Dallas weekend is one of our uh, biggest recruitment weekends. By the time Sunday rolls around, whoo, child. The other thing is Grambling comes on Saturday and leaves on Saturday. So, you have to be able to pay for them to stay an extra day. So there's a lot of logistics that goes along with that. And, but somebody has proposed it. So we'll see.
How
We'll
far
see.
is Dallas from
From
Grambling?
Houston or from Grambling? Maybe 3-ish, 3.5
Okay.
hours.
I was wondering. You said they came that day and left that day. I was wondering what that was like on a bus.
Yeah, about 3.5 hours. Shreveport is a flat 3 hours from Dallas, and so Grambling is a little bit north. So a little bit between 3 and 4 hours. But still, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's
Well, let me say this. Spartan Legion came back from Atlanta after that gig.
Ooh.
So if I had a message to these promoters and these people organizing these events, 11 hours on a bus after an event is not a way to keep bands happy. I'm old, okay?
Yeah.
I felt like I got in a fight and lost after we got back to Virginia, okay?
Yeah.
I took that Monday off. We got back here about 8 o'clock, between 8 and 9 Sunday morning. And I took Monday off. I came home and took the longest shower ever, but I slept all that day. And I took Monday off and slept all of that day. And Tuesday, I still felt like I got in a fight and lost. I'm not built like that. It was so bad. The students was like, Miss Portia, that wasn't it.
Yeah.
No, it was not it. Okay.
No.
So if I have
but to be honest, even though Honda, the other Honda, not the new Honda, but even though they would, we would be there for a couple of days, they would ship us back like immediately after the performance. After the performance was over, you get on your bus, you on the highway going back. And for us, that's a 16-hour bus ride.
That's just not it. If we need to talk about something, treat these bands better. Y'all making all of this money. And I don't mean any harm. At the very least, give the students an opportunity to shower. That is a long day, because if you think about it, they want us at the venue early in the morning because they don't, then they may give you a practice run. They may give you time to warm up. They give you, it's all of this time. And then the people start to arrive. And then you're at this event for 3 or 4 hours. They've been in this uniform all day. They give it up on the field. They're sweaty. I don't know about anybody else, but I sweat a lot. And I would be soaked under my uniform after a performance. And so I've never experienced getting on a bus and riding that long. We've done 3 hours or so. Okay, I'm gonna be in my bed tonight. So this is okay. But 11, 16, that is unacceptable. To be uncomfortable, soaking wet for that long is inhumane.
Yeah, it is.
And I wasn't even soaking wet. I wasn't sweaty. I wasn't any of that. But I know I had been up since 8 something. And I even had this issue when I was in the band. I can't get comfortable on buses, so I don't sleep well on buses. I only do like an hour and a half tops, and then I wake up, and then I'm up for like 2 hours. And then the same thing happens.
Yeah. I talk to the bus drivers. I talk. I can't sleep on the bus. She said, remember when we left Detroit after the game? We were spoiled to stay after games. Yeah, we were spoiled.
Yeah,
look, hey, we better be quiet or Roland Martin gonna jump on here in a second.
Right.
But I just
But I
Yeah,
just think
it's
we
bad.
we need to, as a band culture, as the culture, I think that we need to require more of these people whose events would not be successful if it were not for us.
Right,
I just
right.
think that is a lot on the student. It was a lot on me, but it wasn't about me. I'm saying it's a lot on the students.
Yeah.
And I should have followed my first mind. I started to fly back on Sunday. Just find me a hotel. Well, I'm gonna be honest. Let me have a real
Yeah,
candid.
but the guilt won't let you do it. It
I
won't.
I didn't want to go to Atlanta.
Yeah,
I wanted to stay here. The Silks are on autopilot. On
yeah,
performance day, I'm kind of out of the way. I'm in the
yeah,
background unless they absolutely need something.
yeah,
I'm chilling
yeah.
because the preparation happens before that.
That,
So I had asked, like, hey, but they, do I have to go? He was like, no, I know your girl's gonna be straight. So no, it's not required. So I go to those girls and I say, hey guys, I'm tired. I'm old. Y'all know I'm in school. It's been a lot. And I'm just drained. Would y'all be okay if I didn't go? And they was like, go, not go. What? Not go where? Not coming where? And I was like, oh my God.
yeah, listen, I have learned that like I used to, if we had events somewhere in Houston, I used to drive from my house all the way to PV to get on the bus and to go all the way to Houston for
Oh
whatever
wow.
we did, take the bus back all the way to PV and
To
then
drive
drive
home.
all the way back to my house. Guess what I started doing? I'll meet you there. Sorry. I am not driving all the way to PV. Get on the bus. No. That's putting the miles on my car. And yeah, That's y'all can ride the bus
And what
by
do you
yourself.
mean? I have conditioned my squad to be like me. What does that mean?
He says you condition your squad to be like I don't know. I don't
It
know.
depends on what you mean, like me. Before I answer that, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh I finally had on some of the
Oh
events
yeah,
and stuff. I
yeah.
had to be like,
They wasn't having that. They told me straight up, "No, you going. We gonna be together. We a package." Yes, I have conditioned them. They don't hold no punches. They say it respectfully, but they no, I don't even no. We going to Atlanta.
yeah. That's why I
So
don't ask.
I don't know what I was thinking. Like it's the last gig of the year. They're gonna go to Atlanta. They'll be
Right.
fine. And
Mm-hmm.
that was not the reaction I got. And then one of
Right.
them who wasn't at practice that day when I asked it, when she saw me, she was like, "So what's this? What what do you mean? What's happening? What you asked not to go?" I was like, "Don't worry about it. I'm going, so we don't have to discuss this anymore, guys."
Right, right.
So
So how did you compare this is how did you compare that event to the old Honda?
um I don't know if this is post COVID or not. Um the energy in the building wasn't what I remember Honda to be.
Mm,
Um, it wasn't as electric. It wasn't as even I went to the last Honda before COVID when you all were there and did that storm, that the cyclone, that was super dope. I was extremely excited about that. I remember that. It wasn't even that one, it wasn't the same kind of like energy, and I don't know why. I don't know, what shifted, or I don't know what the difference was in that. What I will say is I think the biggest difference I noticed, even from the last one I came to, but when it was still Honda, I don't know that we realized that the acoustics in the Georgia Dome, I don't think we appreciated them while we had them.
Right.
That dome was more um marching band
You mean the
friendly is
old
how
one.
I would
You mean the
say it.
old one.
The old one, not the
Uh-huh.
Mercedes, the Georgia Dome. It just, the sound was just different in there to me than in Mercedes Benz. I just don't, it's not, I don't know, it's way more boomy in there to
Yeah.
me. Um, so those are some differences that I see. But the
I
energy,
miss the old dome too. I
yeah,
do.
it just carried
Why
sound
they
better.
have to build a new dome? I don't get it.
I don't know what was wrong with the old one, but
Yeah.
it just, I don't know if it was the concrete that they had in the old one or what the way it was built, but it just, to me, it really worked well with marching band. I don't know that this one does as much in my opinion, but who am I?
Right.
But I don't know. I think the energy, oh, he said the old one was falling apart. Oh, they did a good job of hiding it because I
I
couldn't tell.
know.
But um yeah, it was a little different than what I remember my experiences, but that was so long ago when we went to
Yeah.
Honda. I've
Yeah.
attended some after that, but it was a different kind of experience
Yeah.
to me than what I saw logistically. And this was their
Right.
first time doing it, so it may get better, but it was just, I don't know, it was new. Um,
Yeah, they're gonna have to kind of find their niche and they're gonna have to, Honda's been around for so long and it's become such a staple. It's become a go-to event, um, with almost like a marching band reunion type thing.
mhm,
So it
mhm.
has all of that going for it. And so the new event doesn't quite have that.
No, and then
So
the elements
yeah,
that I missed was like they didn't have any of the real like social interaction between the bands. Like they used to have the
yeah,
banquet. They didn't, it was none of that,
none of that.
and
Yeah,
it was just like, huh, it was, to me, that's part of what we look forward to. We got to meet different people, interact with
yeah,
different people, all of those things. And that just really didn't happen this time. It was kind of like come in town, do this practice, do the show, get out of here. And it
yeah,
was kind of like,
yeah,
well, I mean, yeah, it just, I don't know. I think they'll find it. Hopefully they took some constructive criticism, some feedback. But I
mm,
will say is that it worked out this year for the Honda in Alabama, but I don't want to go.
is it gonna be in Alabama again?
Well, they say they're gonna move it around the South. I'm sorry, it gets cold in the South in the wintertime.
In February, yeah.
How do you gauge that? I'm not, don't sign us up. I don't want to go.
Well, but here's my thing too. February is a part of the problem. Again, we are focused on marching band all spring semester. And and I know some bands love it, some bands have the marching bands season, parade season. Yeah, and they have all of that, but it's a lot. It is a lot to prepare for these shows, to for the kids to be out of school, to you know travel way over there and do all that. I mean, if they're gonna move it around, I guess that might be cool. They gotta find, I mean, not that Montgomery is bad, but it's not really known. Like people just don't be like, oh, I want to go to Montgomery. You know
No,
where I want to go? You know where I want to go? Montgomery, said no one. You
nobody.
just
At least
need to
when you
go
have it in a city like Atlanta, there's so much to do that,
do
you can make a trip of it. You can make a weekend
right.
of it. It's, so
I,
if they, yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. I definitely hear you. And so yeah, there's some changes they're gonna have to make too. And I don't know if they chose that date so that it would coincide with parade season so that people, because like a couple of the bands like TSU and Langston, they left Montgomery and just drove straight to New Orleans so to do these parades and stuff. So I don't know if that's the reason they chose that weekend or what. I don't know.
But to me,
It's
in that instance, then just put it in New Orleans.
oh yeah, put it in New Orleans.
And you have much greater chance of having decent weather.
Yeah, yeah,
And I might be willing to be cold in New Orleans if I know I can leave here and go have a good meal. I can leave here and go,
have a
hang
hurricane.
out and have something to do. I'm just not. I think the other thing is that when we did Honda, it culminated at the end of January. I think we
Yes,
need to get back to that. I
yes,
think we need to move back into January. Yes,
yes,
there's a lot coming back to school, going straight into this event, but I think you'll get more buy-in if it's
yes,
back in January and
yes,
we can have this over with and we can start concert band, jazz band, all of these. February is our drop dead date. Like we
yes,
have all of this time to do these things. I think
yes.
going into February for anybody who's on a marching band staff is just not what we're trying to do.
It's just not what
So
we're trying to
those
do.
would be my tips.
Yeah, and you know, I'm always going to have a fond place in my heart for Honda. Trust me.
Yeah.
There are some memories that are just like the best. But you
Yeah.
know, February is a lot. It's a lot, and especially dealing with these kids. These kids, they come back second semester. They want to do other stuff. They like, look, you know, we don't want to be in band rehearsal all damn
I'm gonna
all
tell you right
doggone
now,
day.
and Norfolk State only does spring intake. So
Right. We only do spring intake
yeah,
as well. So you
yeah.
got them, they want to do that. They want to be on the modeling crew. They want to you know, they want to go to they want to be in the Miss this pageant and the Miss that pageant
And
so
they
they
want
can
to work and
win
they want to
scholarship
do
money. They want to work. They need to work so that they can save money for their tuition for the fall. I mean, there's all this stuff that these kids want to have a bunch of, yeah, all these, you know, things that these kids want to do, and going to rehearsal is not one of them. It does not. It's not how.
and they
Listen,
make it clear that they tired of
they
being here.
tired. They tired, and they don't want to shoot. They was tired fall semester, so you know if they was tired fall semester, what they feel in spring semester. So yeah,
Especially our kids coming off that Rose Bowl, they was like, Lord.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's hard.
Um,
It's hard, but I mean, don't get me wrong. I will always have that fond spot
yeah,
for Honda. For Honda, I will. But
yeah.
it's
It gave me one of my best Legion moments, best Legion memories.
mhm.
And I don't think it's a bad idea, but I think we need to go back to January. I don't know what happened to the two groups, but I think y'all should cut y'all losses and get on back together. We can have this thing in one place at one time. And
Reunited and it feels so good.
um and let's do it like we used to do it. I
Yeah,
mean, it just and it was a lot, because people was like, well, which one is it? And which one are you going to? No, it used to be Honda. When you said that, everybody knew what you were referring to. We knew we were going to Atlanta. We knew that it was going to be 8. At first, they used to have 10. I don't know if people remember that. It was 10 bands, but 8 bands. And, that's what we were going to do. But now it's just, yeah, right, Edwin. Let's stay together. Let's get on back together.
yeah.
Get
I
on the
agree.
same page. Let's do this thing the last weekend of January and move on.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But I think some other cities that might be interesting, like we said, New Orleans is a good place, but I also think maybe Nashville. Um, you know, Nashville has a nice little scene.
Mhm.
Maybe Charlotte.
Yeah,
Uh,
pick some cities where we're gonna have some stuff to do, and that
have
these
something to
students
do.
gonna have some stuff to do that don't
Right,
involve them getting in trouble. Okay,
right,
so pick some
exactly.
places that people want to come. The
Right.
Legion fans will follow them anywhere, but yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not.
Nashville is
Yeah,
dope.
pick
Yeah,
somewhere that we're gonna have some nice places to eat and some places to go that we can do stuff in between. And let's
yeah,
get these events back together. Let's do the banquet again. Highlight these programs.
right.
Giving kids the opportunity to mix and mingle. I think that
Yes,
was awesome. When we did that, and so
yeah,
get on back together and let's do this the old way with some new and improved things like switching cities. That'll be dope. I've never
yeah,
been to Nashville. That's why I'm
right.
praying to the gods that we get to go to Tennessee State, honey. I want to go. All right. I ain't never been to Nashville. I'm trying to see what that's like.
Yeah,
So and New
yeah. I've never been.
Orleans.
Well, I have been. I've been to Nashville twice, but not for anything wonderful. It's not like I really got to hang out. The first time was with Nansma River.
Mm.
We marched in Tennessee State's homecoming parade one time. So
Oh, okay.
we were
Yeah,
just
no,
there
but you
for
were
the
there
parade.
with children, so you couldn't leave.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
couldn't get cranked up now.
Mm.
Yeah, but I think that would be a great idea.
Hmm.
I want to know, Hannah, have you talked to anybody about now I know we perform in the cold. I know we do. But, you know, all I remember is seeing them dancers over there and I was texting Bridget and Renisha from Langston. I was texting them and I was like, "Y'all," I was like, "Are y'all cold?" And they were like, "We are so cold."
In Alabama?
In Alabama.
See, I'm telling you, people was like, no,
God,
it looked like it was warm. I was like, no, it get cold in Alabama in
no,
February. No.
it was cold. It was
And I
cold.
think it would be dope if somebody took this type of event to the West Coast. I think it would sell out.
Yes.
They're not used to that kind of stuff. Let's do
Yeah.
a Cali. I sign me up. Now we
Yeah.
flying.
Well,
We're
now
not.
look, they were supposed to have a SWAC Battle of the Bands in Los Angeles. Somebody, okay, you know that guy Jay Walker from ESPN, it's the
Mhm.
black guy he was talking to us about that. I don't know who was gonna do it or
I think
somebody,
that
but
would be
they were gonna put
super
major money behind
dope.
it. And then poof, it just kind of went like nobody's talking about it anymore. It was supposed to be
LA,
in LA.
Vegas, one of those. I mean, man, could you imagine? That's a tourist destination, so it's gonna sell out.
Yeah. Look, and yeah, let's go to Los Angeles because right now I'm having issues with Florida and I am. I'm having issues with Florida and I just don't know if I want to go. I'm
Right.
even thinking about skipping out on nationals on TBS KK Nationals because I just don't feel like I want to spend any money there. And I just, you get a little
Yeah.
bit more conscious, politically conscious when you get old.
Yeah. Yeah. So they got some stuff. They got some stuff going on down there. Pray for them. I don't know.
Oh, you said Vegas. Oh, Vegas.
Vegas would be a
Ooh,
good time. A good
Vegas.
time. And I mean, could
Oh,
you imagine what that would do for our recruitment? Those schools don't really get to see us in
yes.
person. Like, I think that would be California, Vegas. I'm down for all of that. Let's do something on the West Coast.
Honda, if you're listening, Honda. Vegas.
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 Yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah. And I think you
Yeah,
would
that
sell
would
out
that
in
would be great.
Vegas. Yeah, but you're gonna
Yeah.
have to fly us. I'm telling you right now, I'm not doing that on a bus. No, no,
Oh yeah.
no.
Oh yeah, for sure. Look, one
Mm-mm.
time we had a competition in El Paso and Alcorn and Mississippi Valley both came to that competition. And do you know that they rode buses?
Mm-mm. Nope.
Listen, here in Houston, it is a 14-hour drive to El Paso.
Mm-mm.
It take a
Mm-mm.
whole day just to get across the state of Texas.
Mm-mm.
Yep,
No.
they sure did. They rode them buses. I'm like, y'all.
Mm-mm. No. Mm-mm. What I'm saying to you is my knees are bad. My second year in the Legion. You want me to be on a bus that long? No, I'm not no good to anybody after I get off a bus after being on it that long.
Yeah,
No.
well, I got sciatic nerve pain in my back, so yeah, that's gonna
Yeah.
be a no for
Yeah.
me.
Vegas would be crazy. any one of these promoters do the right thing and take us to the West. Even if the Legion wasn't invited, I'm coming. Okay.
Yeah.
If we don't have
Yeah.
a gig, I'm there.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Me too.
Vegas or
California.
California.
It has been spoken from our mouths to y'all's ears.
Okay.
Make it happen.
Make it happen. Because even if I don't, we're not participating. I actually would prefer that we wouldn't participate. So I could just come hang out. Okay. Yeah. Somebody needs to do that.
But Portia, let me tell you something. These Battle of the Bands coordinators have been breaking my heart for a couple years now.
Not putting us in the same building?
Yes.
No, it's some people here that feel the same way. Like, what is going on? Like, it's just not aligning for us. I don't know.
Like, they don't want us to get together. Why?
I don't know. Like, I thought when we found out we were coming to Houston the first time, I'm like, okay, we're going to be in the building with Prairie View. And then we found out y'all weren't going to be there. And I'm like, what is going on?
I was so mad. I was so mad. We couldn't come that year because of a lot of reasons. But yeah, the biggest reason is we couldn't get the students back in time to rehearse. And you know how he is. He's not going to go into no situation half-assed. So
yep.
We
yeah, I don't know. It is not, and that's so crazy. I don't know how it's happened. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I don't know. One of these days we'll look up and we'll be in the same place.
Yes, we have to. We have to be in the same place. And so like the next year that we did perform, and that was 19.
We didn't come.
I just knew. I was like, okay, they're gonna bring Norfolk back. And man, they didn't. I was so mad. And so then when what happened after that? There was something else, and we were just like ships in the night. I was like, oh, they are just not making this happen for us. And you know that is the battle that everybody want to see.
But why?
What you mean, why?
Why?
Come on.
I ask people like, what is it about that? I don't know.
Right, because you know why? Because everybody in the SWAC, word around the SWAC is that we not really SWAC. That we sound like Prairie View, that we sound like Norfolk. That's what they, so when we first got here, that's what they kept saying. Y'all don't sound like a SWAC band. Y'all sound like Norfolk. Now, and it's Tim's alma mater, it's his former band. So they were going around saying that we sounded like Norfolk. And then not realizing, I don't want to have to break everybody's heart, but Prof Ed was a Florida A&M graduate. So of course, a lot of Prairie View isms came from Florida A&M, but that's another discussion for another day. But being that is Tim's former band, everybody's kind of like,
I guess. We'll see. I don't know. That's interesting.
I'm one day it's gonna happen, maybe in Los Angeles. That would be nice.
Not Simmons versus
happens in
that would I would be okay with that. Los Angeles, Vegas, one of those places, but we flying.
Hey, look, Justin said that he's gonna host a college band. Here's how you do it. Do it. Us against Norfolk, TSU against Southern, or Alcorn against Southern.
Yeah. I think the one people will want to see is that Texas Southern against Southern.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, but they've already seen it. But
yeah, but it ain't. They still. That's a thing right now. So I think.
I don't know why they want to see that. It's just two bands that sound exactly the same.
I know that, and you know that, but these people don't seem to know that.
Yeah. Yeah, they sound exactly. I'm sorry. Y'all can hate me. Y'all can hate me now. You can hate me later, but that's just TSU
I feel the
sounds
same. I feel the exact
exactly like
same way. I feel the exact same way. They sound the exact same.
they sound the exact same.
They're just wearing different colors.
Yep. 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 But I
But
mean, what you gonna do? But I will say that would, yeah. See, Justin, we have given you two ideas tonight. Two.
if you record Norfolk staff, I just need a lot of warning. I need a lot of warning.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I need to know in advance.
So I'm trying to think about Honda and what I saw. I watched most of it.
Now, see, I ain't do that. I told you I
You
was banned out. I only watched the field shows. I didn't watch none of that stand stuff. I was not interested.
yeah, the stand stuff was, yeah, I wasn't down for the cause with that. But I will say, from the dance perspective, I can't remember who I put as like the top, in my opinion, who the top squad was. Who the top dance squad was.
I went with Motion, I think. It's been a couple weeks since I watched it. I think it was them.
Mhm.
I had some concerns about some of the stuff I saw there, though, from an auxiliary perspective. For it to be that late in the season.
Mm,
I don't know if they were tied like we were tied.
I think they
Southern
was
and A&T.
Yeah. Yeah. A&T is gonna always A&T can get away with a lot of stuff because Golden Delight is so incorporated into just the entire show and everything that they do. So they can, they can get away, get through with a lot of stuff. I'm trying to remember. I think Southern's routine was, they seem to have some energy.
Yeah, I
They
mean, but
do.
it wasn't what I was expecting for that point in the season from I don't think anybody.
True. Now, I agree with that.
I
Now, I
just
will say the one thing about Motion at Honda, I like the routine, and the thing about it was you have seen the growth in Motion from game 1, because remember,
Yep,
game 1 was against us,
yep.
and so I've seen the growth in them from game 1 all the way to Honda.
Yeah,
But
they've
there was
done some stuff this season that
yeah.
I was like, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
but there was one little section that is what I call the kitchen sink section,
Where they threw
where
everything in.
they threw everything in there, and I was kind of like,
It was quite a bit of that going on. What school was that did a lot of that? It was one school that it was so much going on. I was like, wait a minute.
yeah,
I
yeah,
can't remember who it was now, but it just was a lot of stuff that I was seeing that I have just higher expectations for bands at the end of the season. I'm gonna give you a little bit of grace.
right,
The National Battle of Bands. Y'all just got together. Y'all don't quite know each other yet. These squads haven't gelled yet. The band
right,
hasn't gelled yet. I'm gonna
right.
give you a little bit of grace. But in February, and this is the speech I gave to Silks. Hey, listen, we done had a whole season together. Y'all done went to California. Y'all can't go nowhere but up because otherwise you're gonna be judged. Okay, your biggest opponent is your last performance, really. And so I just expected more than what I saw. Edwin says, I have a feeling bands at Honda had new performers with them. There were some people looking like they were not familiar or comfortable. Yeah, that's what I saw, Edwin. And but see, that's a little weird to me. I mean, where did new people come from? They new members of the band? And if they did,
And they may have had to get new people because of these kids.
yeah, but what I'm saying is Chekhov's is a tool. And they would have been in the band and learning and growing, but they would not have been on that field in Atlanta if they marched in the Spartan Legion as part of the Silkettes. That's what I'm gonna tell you. I don't, no. I am so glad that you have shown up here. I'm so glad that you're gonna get this growth opportunity in the spring. But if you don't know that routine, you are not going out here with this squad.
Yeah,
for this
well,
event.
but if he's talking about band members, because I'm telling you, there were kids that flat out was like, nah, I ain't going to Honda nowhere. I ain't going. And there were kids who said that. And a band is not gonna be 300 in the fall and come back and be 200 in the spring. They ain't gonna do that. They're gonna do
Well,
whatever
we
they
were
to puff their
we
numbers up. So
we were smaller in Atlanta because we
yeah,
had situation. I'm not coming back to school. I'm too stressed out to march. Okay, go ahead and do what you got to do. Because what I'm telling you is, I want you to stay here if that's how you feel. Some of that stuff that I saw just shouldn't have been out there. And I'm not talking from band members. I'm talking about from auxiliary. And I'll say this all the time. In band, if somebody's out there Johnny one note, as long as the majority is not, you can hide that. You cannot hide with a 6-foot pole in your hand, and you cannot hide that you don't know a dance that involves your body.
correct.
Those things cannot be covered up. Those things cannot be hidden. A 6-foot pole is a 6-foot pole, no matter how you slice it. And if somebody doesn't know where their body should be, you're gonna notice.
Right.
So I'm saying from an auxiliary perspective that it was some things happening that should not have been happening at the end of a season.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, like I said, you don't know what's been impacting the teams that you just don't know. And a lot of it is the same, and then there's a lot of it is different for each band. You just don't know what's going on. So, kudos to those that were able to actually make it and kick off the new Honda. And I'm just kind of going back over some of the things that happened since the last time we talked. I know National Battle of the Bands had their television show. I don't know if it showed out there in Norfolk.
I didn't see that.
It's called The Road to Houston. Yeah. And if you go out to their website or to their Instagram page, they have a list. They have dates of when it will show on different stations. And if you have AT&T, it's like some station like AT&T's channel, and it's shown on there because here in Houston it came on that AT&T channel as well. But yeah, so it's sort of like a TV representation. They interviewed a lot of the students and stuff. They interviewed some of the band directors. I got on them because they didn't interview Tim and they didn't interview Kendrick at all. Like, why? but yeah, they had that, and then let's see what else is going on. Parades. I didn't really pay attention to parade season.
Me either.
So, I mean, it just didn't seem to garner the same attention this year. Is it just me?
No, I feel, but it's probably because there was so much going on in February. I mean, my question is, can people besides us be banned out? I mean, because it didn't seem to be the same amount of attention on it this year, at least to me.
Yeah. I think people can be banded out, and I think that's something that they have to think about. The performers can be banded out, and the people watching, the people coming to see, can be banded out. They, you got to make them miss us a little bit, not too much, but not too much, but Yeah. You
Yeah, I
but
don't know.
the target audience is the same. It doesn't change much. So maybe
That's true.
pitch us to a different audience, like the ones in Vegas and Los Angeles.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Bouquets.
Some of the same people will travel, but it'll be a new experience, so we'll reach different people. So yeah,
Yeah,
let's do
that's
it.
what that's what I think should happen.
Hmm.
Oh, did you see that? Remember we in one show, one episode, we talked about the young ladies from USC.
Hmm.
They
I
were on the Teen Vogue Instagram page.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Okay, let me go look at
Yeah,
that.
they were. They were. And to this day, we have seen more and more and more of the teams pop up. Uh,
But we said that
well,
would happen.
we said that would happen. UCLA has had one. They have just been very quiet. But we knew about San Diego State. But McNeese had one, and LSU. Mhm. LSU's have starting one, and
Hmm. We'll probably see more next school year.
we will
Um,
we will see more. We'll see more.
Still a very
Uh,
interesting subject for me. But
yeah, yeah.
and I have
Yeah.
questions. They were on Teen Vogue. What at what age do you stop being a teenager?
Teen Vogue has always done that though. Teen Vogue has always, you know, not that I follow Teen Vogue, but yeah.
And when I really try, but some things I just don't understand, and my face tells it before I can fix it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I Yeah.
Hot Ice was on the Sherry Show.
Yeah, they
Right, Hot
were.
Ice? Yes.
When
And then
Ebony sent
Prairie View
that
was
text out,
also
I
on the Sherry
said
Show.
when Ebony said that text, I said, "Yeah, come on, Hot Ice. That's awesome.
Yes,
That is
yes,
awesome."
yes, Hot Ice. And then Prairie View was also on the Sherry Show, and,
I think
uh
that's awesome that they're highlighting these schools that actually do this, is how I'll say it. Like, this is a part of that
yeah,
culture. It's been a part of that culture. So I think that's awesome. I do. I
right,
was really excited for them and all of the schools that she's highlighting that these
yeah,
are actual HBCU dance
right.
awards. So yeah.
Absolutely. Me too. Me too, me too, me too. And, so yeah, we had the Sherry Show. What else have we seen? Um, um, well, I know we have new episodes. We don't know exactly when. And I don't know. I might be spilling beans, and hopefully I don't get nobody in trouble. But there's new reality shows coming out. I'll just leave it at that
Oh
because
wow.
I don't want to say exactly
Right.
because I don't want to,
Yeah.
say
I
something
think
and
that is
whatever.
awesome. The more
But there's new
insight, the more
reality shows coming out.
exposure, the better. I don't want to be really on one, but I think it's
Mhm.
awesome that everybody's doing them.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Me too.
I do.
And then when Justin does his, uh,
Yes.
so everybody gets to see what it's really like to be on the band staff. Now I have another idea for a show, Justin. It's featuring me, but
Blue Bell versus Blue Bonnet. I'm done.
oh yeah, I got plenty ideas. In fact, I think I'm about to start me a production company.
Yeah, you should. Okay,
Mhm.
multiple streams of income because I
Yes.
don't know that we can do this forever. Okay?
Hey,
No.
listen, from somebody that's been 34 years in the business, Portia, after a while, you just get numb.
I'ma just tell you now.
You can ask
I
Edwin.
don't
Edwin and I are in the same business, and yeah, you after a while, you just kind of get numb to it.
I just want to say that y'all are amazing because I don't think that I have 30 anything in me. Um, mm-mm, okay. Uh, I done already put a number in my head on when I'm gonna go ahead and make my gracious exit
Right.
from this thing. And I'm gonna be okay with that. Like people are like, really? Yeah, This,
Yeah,
and I don't know if it's the students or what, but at 30, no, 20,
y'all
no,
y'all can do that though because y'all know better. Y'all know better. When we were coming up, we didn't know better. And we had watched our parents, work one job for 30, 40, 50 years and then retire. And we saw that and we thought that's what we were supposed to do too. Y'all are different. Y'all and I'm saying that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Uh, and here I am at the ripe old age of blah 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 blah, and trying to start new endeavors and new streams of income and stuff. And there are days, and I ain't gonna lie, there are days when I'm just like, why am I doing this? When I know that all I want to do is sit on my butt and watch TV and and eat fresh granola from Whole Foods. That's really all I want to do.
Yeah, I think
I
it is.
cannot just stay home. I just want to
um,
stay home.
I think it's amazing that you've been doing this long and at a high level, but I don't know that my
Yeah,
sanity will allow me to do
yeah,
this. And I mean, what I'm saying, she look good, don't it? Okay, that's what I'm saying. I need maybe that's what's keeping you young, and I need to keep doing it so I can remain young. But I mean, it is some awesome moments, but I mean, when you give and give and give of yourself, it can be
yeah,
so.
yeah. I mean, but literally, I was talking about, and I'm not even talking about coaching. I'm talking about like my real job. Being in IT. I've been in IT for 34 years,
Mm, you
and
know me.
and so has Edwin.
I've already had two careers already. I did
Yeah,
social services for 5.5 years, and I've been in insurance doing what I do now for, at the end of this month, it'll be 7 years. This is the longest I've ever been at a job.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's really because I've been growing. I've been getting promotions because, yeah, um, I'm not
yeah.
working forever, and I want to be at a certain amount of money by a certain age.
Yeah, and see, we didn't think that way. That's not the way we were brought up. We didn't think that way.
Mhm.
And these 10 years, we celebrated 10 years here this season. 10
That's
seasons.
crazy. That's crazy.
It is
I feel like
so
I just was told we leaving. So that's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean 10. 10. I cannot believe it. I cannot. It is just I
That's
cannot.
crazy.
And it has been some of the most rewarding work I've ever done. I went to one of my alumni Fox's baby shower a couple of weekends ago.
Oh,
Just the most rewarding thing I've ever done. I mean, just, you know, a 10. Whoa,
that's crazy. Time
you
fly.
know?
Say time fly when you're having fun.
Yeah, time flies when you're having fun. When you're having fun. But yeah, there are times when I get up and I'm like, why? Why?
And I think for me, I never thought I would be doing this.
Yeah.
So my perspective is I didn't think I would end up here. So, I want to do it while I'm doing it well. And then I want to bow out gracefully. I don't know. I just don't have in my mind doing this for 20 years.
And but you know what? That's not just us though. I mean, that's band as well. Um, a lot of band directors are getting in there and it's like, whoa, we didn't know that this is what it was. And we didn't know and they have other endeavors and other things that they want to do in life. And so uh, you're missing that whole culture of the OG band director.
That's
That band
true.
the band director that comes and stays, for 30, 40 years until they retire. That that is becoming few and far between now.
And
So
you know what's crazy is that I loved, that we had different ages and stages of band directors. But being on the inside now, I wouldn't want that job for any money in the world. I'm going to tell you right now,
okay.
I would rather stay here and do this job than to do there is no way. I'm hats off to anybody in that head seat. The stuff that they deal with, it's not for me. I'm not, and there's no way that those students could walk in that office and say some of that stuff to me that I know that they said to them or express to them or ask for of them. I'm not, what'd you just say? No. I just it in the Edwin, the politics, you have to make the students happy, the parents happy, the administration happy. I would not, hats off to anybody who is a director of bands.
And
Especially
I'm
at the
close
college
up on
level.
it, watching it happen, and it takes a special person, a special skill. You have to have the patience of Job. You really have to. One of the things that we've learned as a staff, not just the director of bands, but as a staff, is that we don't have a lot of skill in project coordination, and it is evident when you see how some of the bands operate. um we have to learn how to organize and run projects, because every little thing is a little project, and if you don't know how to run that, then you lost. And so what you do is you have a lot of young people who major in music, or they major in music education, and they have not learned project coordination, and they need that. And if I had to make a suggestion to all these universities that's got these music education and put these band directors out there, uh require a couple of business courses.
Yep.
One or two business courses. You need to require that. Because they get out there and don't know what it hits them in the face like a it's crazy
You
how
got to
how
manage budgets, money. You got to learn how to have um, different levels of interaction with different levels of people, speaking to them different ways. You have to be able
Mhm,
to present on behalf
mhm.
of the organization to get the things that you need.
Right.
It's a lot. They can have that. I
Yeah.
don't no, I don't wish that on anybody.
Yes.
Eh,
It's a lot. And so that's
Man,
exactly what I would say, is to do some high level business, finance. You can do one finance course, one business course. You need a project management course. These are the things that these educators need, because they get in there and it's like, what? Let me tell you.
and
So,
I think a lot of people see band director. Like, I want to be a band director.
band director.
You got to wear 20 different hats to be in that seat.
Mhm.
No, and the reality is that you don't get. I can't speak for nowhere else, but you don't get a whole lot of time in front of that band because you're wearing those 19 other hats. Band
Right.
director, it, being on that podium, that's one hat. You don't really wear that. You
Right.
wearing all those other hats that
Right.
you have to wear in order to make this machine move. And I just would
Right.
not want any of that.
Right. And let
Hats
me tell
off.
you something. As a coach, as what we do, it's the same thing.
Oh yeah.
And I've been saying that's why I utilize student assistants, and I kind of use it as a way of preparing them for whatever field that they happen to be studying, and saying, you're going to need these skills when you get out of here. And so I use student assistants, but it helps me quite a bit because I'm just one person. I'm over three organizations right now.
I don't know how you doing that either. I'm gonna tell you what,
Ugh.
I have been blessed. I inherited a self-sufficient squad. They kind of passing that on. They're a little bit more needy, but not much.
Yeah.
Listen, I have been blessed, and I want to thank you, Jesus, for that, because I I don't know how you doing it either. I listen, one's
Listen,
enough for me.
it is not easy. It is not easy, and something will always suffer. I
Yeah,
can't teach Twirling Thunder the way I teach the Foxes. You know
right,
what I mean? So, you lose out on some things. Even with Media Team, I there are a lot of things that I know, but I just don't have the time. There's just not
right,
enough hours in the day for me to spend with all three and to be able to give them the knowledge that they need for whatever it is that they're doing. So, luckily with Media Team, we've had some really great support from our alumni, but it's still the alumni is not there every day. So, it's they have to do a lot of learning on their own, and so yeah, it's tough. And so anybody out there listening, administrators, deans, provosts, whoever, some of these y'all need to add some business courses in there, please, because it's tough. It is really tough, and as coaches, it is really really hard on us as well. Uniforms, makeup, hair, clinicians. Then you got to be a, a a lightweight psychologist, a career advisor. You have to be what else? Come on, throw
a
something else out.
second mom. You
Second
got to
mom,
be
yeah.
a tutor in some instances.
A
You got
tutor, yes, a tutor. You have to be all these things as a coach. And yeah, yeah. This is a good segue for me to do a shameless plug. May I do a shameless plug, please?
floor is yours.
March 30th to April 1st is the first National HBCU Auxiliary and Dance Directors Association Conference in Atlanta, Georgia, along with the Band Directors Consortium. Be
Yes,
there. We're going to tell you everything you need to know to be a coach. And a lot
I'll,
more.
I'll
There's a
be in
lot
town,
more.
so I need to register for that.
Yeah, please. I would love to see you. I would love
Yep,
to see you. It would be
gonna be
so
in
great.
town.
I
So
just, but it's a lot. It is a lot. I don't think people get it. I don't think they understand. They get into it and they think I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna teach some dance classes, or I'm gonna go in and just, make up flag routines for them, and then it's gonna no. You spend 20% of your time doing that. The
yep,
other 80% is all that other stuff.
yeah.
My,
One more thing to your plate. Yep.
yeah,
So
yes. I have 3 organizations, and I'm in IT, and I have an association, and I'm a performing arts chair for National Dance Society, and I'm the vice president of Tau Beta Sigma Zeta Southern University Alumni Association. And yeah,
mm,
I would say that I've taken on too much.
wow. I thought my little schedule was busy. No.
Oh my God.
Wow.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, we do it because we love it.
Yep. Yep. But you need to love some stuff a little less. Because that's a lot.
It is. That's
But
why I can't sleep.
no, because you got too much to think about and too much to do.
No.
But I think that was a good segue to She Is Superwoman to end the show. If you can get to Atlanta, get to Atlanta. Come and learn some things so we can grow and be better for our squads. That's
Yeah.
always the goal. So I'm definitely seeing what I can learn, what I can grow from and use to be better in the upcoming season for the Silkats, for the Spartan Legion. So if you can get to Atlanta, come
Get
on,
to
join us.
Atlanta. Like Justin was saying, one of our special guests is D2D, Designed to Dance, from here out of Houston, Texas. And they're if y'all have ever seen D2D perform, they are quite the performing group. So we are really looking forward to having them there. We've got a couple of special guests. We've got Danny Stamper from Motion. We've got
Okay.
Yeah, we've got Diddy, who was the baton twirler. Most people know her as the baton twirler from Coachella, but she's also a dancer and choreographer, so she's going to be there. Kiki Eli is going to be there. Chloe Crowley from Jackson State's going to be there. Janier Kidd, who's the director of DD4L in Atlanta, she's going to be there. Coach Chance from Albany State University is going to be there. So yeah, it's going to be really nice. It's going to be, oh, of course, Mr. Morris is going to be there. Uh, you know, getting everybody together. And Mr. Brian Williams, who used to be the dance coach at South Carolina State, is going to be there. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Lots of opportunities to learn and grow. So
Mm-hmm.
we hope to see y'all there. We did miss Maya and these technical difficulties tonight.
Yeah,
But
Maya, we missed you, dear.
yeah,
We missed you. But we're gonna get it straight for next time.
yep. So if you all don't have anything else, it was great chatting with you. And we'll do this again soon.
We shall. We shall. Everybody, y'all have a good night. Weekend's coming up. Have a good and safe weekend, and we'll see you back here next time.
Bye.
Deuces.